Hey guys, welcome to Pages with Sidra. Today we are going to start chapter 605 of I Have 90 Billion Licking Gold Coins. If you haven't watched the previous chapters, make sure to check them out on my channel. Now, without any delay, let's dive into the chapter. Chapter 1034. Qian Wushuang gets a perfect score. You really don't know about the 7 Millennium Prize problems? Let me show you. Qian Wushuang opened her phone and searched it up. She found information about the world's 7 unsolved mathematical problems and handed the phone to Chen Yuan. Chen Yuan glanced at it. He was a bit stunned. These are the 7 Millennium Problems. So the problems I was solving at the Research Institute, they were actually from the world's top 7 math challenges? Chen Yuan was genuinely surprised. He hadn't found those problems all that hard. If given 10 days or half a month, he felt confident he could solve them all. He just thought they were slightly more difficult than usual. Who would have thought those were the hardest problems in the world? Chen Yuan, just how many secrets are you hiding from me? Even though she found his humble bragging annoying, there was no denying it. Once again, Qian Wushuang was completely blown away by Chen Yuan's brilliance. This man had even surpassed her in the field she was most proud of. Qian Wushuang, favorability +1. Current favorability, 100. Ding. Qian Wushuang's favorability has exceeded 100 points. Ding. Host target has reached perfect simp level. Reward. All attributes +10. Bonus. +50 enhancement points. Name. Chen Yuan. Age. 23. Height. 186 centimeters. Weight. 86 kilograms. Strength. 440. Physique. 620. Spirit. 520. Agility. 440. Average human score, 10. Status, totally OP. Remaining lifespan, 180 years. Flame immunity, 105, above 100. Immune to flame damage and gain control over fire. Remaining enhancement points, 145. That's all it took to max it out. Just solving a few math problems gave me a perfect score? Sure enough, in the world of academic elites, the ones who can solve problems reign supreme. Time flew by. 2 or 3 days passed, and the incident began to go viral. It started from the PhD group chats at Yenching University, then spread to the master's groups, then to the alumni chats, and from there, to other schools. One message became 10, 10 became 100, 1,000, and so on. Soon, students from Tsinghua, Renmin, USDC, and all the other top universities were buzzing about it. Did you hear? Yenching University has a crazy math genius who solved 3 out of the 7 Millennium Problems. For real. Why would I lie? The news is all over the alumni groups. Word is, this guy's a personal disciple of academician Yang, trained in secret for years. And now he's surpassed his master. You mean the academician Yang, world-renowned physicist and leading expert in high-energy physics? Exactly. Who is this genius? I saw his solutions, they're otherworldly. Like a total revelation. Yenching University is still keeping his identity under wraps, but the academic world is already talking. Won't be long before someone finds out. Oh, and by the way, what do you think about Boss Yin getting a direct entry into Yenching's graduate program? What do I think? It's capitalism staining education. Rich people doing whatever they want. Most students aren't even chasing knowledge anymore. They just want a degree to make money. Chen Yuan's a joke. He probably doesn't even know basic calculus. Just another money-grubbing businessman. His kind getting into Yenching? Now any rich guy can buy their way into top schools. Group chats everywhere exploded with debates. The contrast between the math genius and this so-called Boss Yin, a rich guy using money to get ahead, was stark. The drama escalated fast. Many started bashing Boss Yin, but some of Chen Yuan's fans spoke up in his defense. They pointed out his talents in piano, basketball, Go, singing, acting, business management, and more. Wasn't that enough? He didn't even care about a Yenching degree. Not just a master's, even a PhD wouldn't impress someone like him. With his status, he could become a professor if he wanted. Not every talented person needs validation from elite schools. Real life is the best teacher. Success in society is the real proof of ability. How many of you elite graduates can match what Boss Yin has built? To be blunt, in front of him, even the world's top universities are trash. His company's regular employees are all 985 and 211 grads with masters and PhDs. You guys really think too highly of yourselves. These comments only sparked more backlash. Because for most students, life is all about studying since childhood. They did countless exercises, exams, and finally became top students. Naturally, that gave them a sense of pride. But after graduation, many realized their jobs only paid 8K a month. All that effort, and they were still just ordinary. It shattered their worldview. Turns out rich second-gents were just holding back in school. And once they hit society, they unlocked their cheat codes and crushed everyone. A decade of hard studying can't compete with a rich dad. That unfair reality of people who win just by lying down bred resentment. Qian Yuan was the main target. Because he was too rich, online arguments raged. Meanwhile, Wang Zifei, interviewed by a certain media outlet, was going all in on his attacks against boss Yan. It was like he found a personal outlet. Grabbing hold of Qian Yuan's lack of education, he launched wave after wave of criticism. He even accused Qian Yuan of being a symbol of capital's control over education. And disturbingly, he actually stirred up a lot of support. Xiling, check out this video. Wang Zifei is publicly attacking boss Yan on the news. Yang Fengying, the class monitor, sent a video link to Wei Xiling. Wei Xiling watched a few minutes, and her face instantly darkened. Is this guy seriously that bored? Just because he's jealous, he spreads rumors and smears his rival? That's pathetic. I finally see his true colors now. Wei Xiling angrily dialed Wang Zifei. Xiling, you finally called me. Wang Zifei, what the hell are you doing? Delete everything you posted and issue a public apology to Qian Yuan. You've seriously crossed the line. Chapter 1035. It's actually Qian Yuan. Great. Just great. Wei Xiling, I thought you called to apologize, but instead, you're siding with that dog Qian Yuan? You really are cheap. One day, I'll make you pay for the humiliation you've given me. Wang Zifei spoke through gritted teeth. I called for your own good. The rumors you're spreading online can't hurt President Yan. Instead, they'll ruin you. We used to be classmates, so I'm warning you. Don't dig your own grave. Beep, beep, beep. Wei Xiling hung up without hesitation. She had already said what needed to be said. Whether he listened or not was his problem. Damn it. Bang. Wang Zifei furiously smashed his phone into pieces. Then he tore open a package. Inside was a syringe. Without hesitation, he injected himself with the super soldier serum. You filthy woman, I won't let you off. Moments later, he let out a pained scream. His face twisted in agony, and he began roaring wildly like a beast. On the same day, a top academic professor, Professor Niu, stepped up and publicly criticized Qian Yuan's direct admission to Yanjing University. Professor Niu's status was no joke. Far beyond someone like Wang Zifei. He had published dozens of high-impact papers overseas that had stirred intense academic discussion worldwide. Even on platforms like Douyin and Liu app, his fan count exceeded 10 million. He held enormous influence in both academia and education. Now this heavyweight also criticized President Yan. He released 6 consecutive videos, talking about the injustice in education, the rapid expansion of Qian Yuan's capital group, the looming monopolies across industries, and how this posed a huge danger to society. He urged the authorities to halt this immediately, or face unimaginable consequences. Through asset reports, many netizens realized for the first time, President Yan's empire had become unimaginably massive. The total global market value of all his invested companies added up to 50 trillion. When this figure came out, the entire nation was shaken. The world was shaken. Unbelievable. Even the world's top 100 billionaires combined didn't have that much wealth. It left people breathless. But along with the shock came fear. One man controlling this much money? His influence had become absolutely uncontrollable. It had already crossed the red line. But Qian Yuan was cunning. He had transferred all his companies under other names. On paper, he didn't own much. Many of his firms were independent entities. Even international antitrust laws couldn't touch him. If you tried to investigate, you'd find he didn't own a single company. And if you claimed he was worth 50 trillion, what proof did you have? That was the terrifying part of Professor Niu's videos. His series struck straight at the heart. They quickly gained millions of likes. Each video hit over 100 million views. Things spiraled out of control. Meanwhile, the world was in chaos. But Qian Yuan paid no attention. He finally got away from the clingy Qin Wushuang and came alone to the prince's estate. Today, he wanted to test his new flame control ability. He had finally surpassed 105 points. And now, the world around him looked different. He could vaguely sense energy particles in the air. They were wild and unstable, yet felt strangely friendly to him, almost like he could use them just by thinking. He raised his hand casually. A small fireball appeared in his palm. He focused his mind, and the fireball instantly expanded. 1 meter, 10 meters, 50 meters. Boom. With a deafening roar, the fireball exploded into a sea of flames. The explosion engulfed a 100-meter radius. Everything, flowers, grass, trees, was turned to ash in seconds. The blazing flames raged wildly. Even Qian Yuan was stunned. He thought flame control would just let him light a cigarette. But this? It almost blew up the entire prince's estate. This one thought ignites a sea of fire, enough to burn rivers and mountains? The power of a 9th-tier expert? Control over natural energy. Stunned, frozen, shocked, Mr. Long stood rooted in place. He had come here after hearing that his disciple Qian Yuan Duo had lost to Qian Yuan. He wanted to test the guy's strength himself. But the moment he arrived, before he could do anything, he was terrified. This is insane. This isn't testing, it's suicide. Trying to probe a 9th-tier expert? I'd be wiped out in one move. Thank God I didn't attack. I'd be dead. Mr. Long was drenched in cold sweat. He quickly ran off. I felt like someone was spying on me. Qian Yuan thought for a second. The fire around him suddenly vanished, extinguished with a single thought. He looked around, but didn't see anyone. Damn it. The house is burned down again. More renovations. He was speechless. The prince's estate cost 200 million to build. Now all gone again. At Yenjing University, mathematics research team. Professor Yang, I've identified the genius mathematician. Dr. Zhanya reported. Who is it? Professor Yang's eyes gleamed with anticipation. It's Qian Yuan. Qian Yuan? That Qian Yuan. He had heard of Qian Yuan online, but it didn't match the image of a math genius. Yes, the famous President Yin. I already confirmed it with Qin Wushuang. He was the one who left the institute with her that day. Some team members had noticed the solver's back looked like President Yin, but no one thought it was possible. His image didn't match an academic. But it's true. Zhanya was still shocked herself. It was hard to believe. Qian Yuan, huh? No matter who he is, if he solved one of the world's 3 greatest math problems, then he's a pride of Yenjing University. A pride of our nation's mathematical field. Send him an invitation immediately. Host an academic conference. Invite Dr. Qian Yuan to give a lecture. He deserves every honor. Yes, Professor. Zhanya nodded firmly. That's it for today's chapter recap. If you enjoyed the breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with the latest manga, manhwa, and manhwa recaps. Got thoughts on today's chapter? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear your take on the story. See you in the next one. Until then, keep turning the pages.